Okay, so the other day I was talking about happiness, right? And how I achieved 100% happy at one point in time. Well, this house was one of the reasons why I was at that 100% happy. And while I was in that happy mode, I ended up getting another car. A car I've always kind of wanted. It would have been that one, but that one's busted down. So I bought a different one. And let's just say it was my greatest financial mistake thus far. So let me show you this car. It's a pretty car. You're gonna like it, I promise you. But
you got someone new, I know, but I will keep on denying. Gotta keep my emotions running wild. Need someone to hold my words together.
so this is my 1984 Chevrolet Corvette C4. The first generation of this car, of this model anyway. And yeah. So I sunk $6,000 into the actual car itself, $3,000 for the nice yellow paint job that's been sitting here collecting dust, $1,000 for the tune-up, and I want to say about $500 for the new shoes that's on it. And I got it because I was in such a happy state, right? I got the house, everything was good going on, everything was good in my life, everything was great. So I got this, right? And I was extremely happy, right? So I got this car, but here's the kicker though. So I got the car, and then the next day it wouldn't start. So I drove it like 300 miles from where I got it from with my dad, and the next day it wouldn't start, right? And that was the beginning of so much sorrow for like a year and a half. So I refused to take it to a mechanic. So I was like, I just bought this car. I just dropped $6,000 for this car. There's no way this car shouldn't be running. So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with it, trying to fix it. And it sat through the snow, it sat through all this stuff. And eventually I got to be trying everything. I called this guy I know. He was a mechanic, and he hooked it up and got it up and running. So I was like, all right, sweet, it's good to go. Took it to get a tune-up, because now I hadn't even had a tune-up yet, right? Took it to get a tune-up, got the new shoes for it, boom, that was done. The mechanic at my old man's job told me I need to get rid of this car because it's going to be nothing but an ocean of my cash. Like, all my money's going to disappear. I said, it's literally going to be an ocean, right? And I was like, no, this car's going to be great. I love it. Wait till you get a nice paint job. It's going to be perfect. And I should have listened. So got the car, was up and running, got the tags, took it to the dealer, took it to the Maaco, got the paint job. $3,000 later, this nice, hot, yellow piece. Oh, just so beautiful, right? Whoo! Like, it was so nice. And I drove it for maybe like a month, right? And it died out on me. So like first, no, not even a month. Wow, not even a month. The day after I got it, the day it was done being painted and I went to go pick it up, they told me the water hose was leaking, right? The water hose was, like, the water pump was leaking. So I had to pay a guy to put a new water hose in, right? So that was $300 right there. Then when he was done with that in like a week, drove it, and then the next day the head gaskets blew in the car. Called AAA, you know, had to get that taken care of, put like the stuff inside of it, like the stuff you buy from the store you're not supposed to put inside engines, but I did anyway. And it sealed the head gasket and it was good. Drove it for like a month, and then it blew on me again, right? Like, I got back from Bahamas, I was driving it back from Baltimore, and it blew on me again, and I was just like, yo, what? Right, I was so upset. So that's where this car sits now, because I lifted it up, took the engine apart because I was going to replace it myself.
I'm fucked up, oh yeah, I know it. All alone with mixed emotions. Yeah.
And I just never got around to it because I said, you know what, I need to devote my time and energy to other things. And I'm telling you this story because the guy told me he could have fixed the head gasket on this car and got it up and running beautifully for $1,300. And I refused to pay that. I said, no, I need to put my money towards other things. And I put that money towards business, right? And I've lost that money in business, but I put it towards something that actually made me money, that would make me money. Because a lot of times we make our mistakes, we fail, and we're in this point of happiness and we think everything's perfect, and everything is perfect, but we forget to plan for the next step, and I forgot to plan for the next step because I was in such a high feeling of just euphoria about like getting a house, getting a car. I was like, everything's perfect. And I wasn't prepared for what could go wrong. And luckily nothing big went wrong with the house, because then I would have just been SOL. But things do happen. And so that's one of the reasons why I wasn't happy. Like, that car cost me so much of my joy, because after spending all that money and all that time trying to fix it, and it just kept blowing up on me, it hurt so bad just knowing that I failed, right? That's what I felt. I felt like a failure, and I felt so bad about it. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I gotta fix this, I gotta fix this. And I became obsessed with this car, right? Like, I didn't talk to people for days, weeks on end because I was underneath this car trying to fix it. And that wasn't cool. It was literally an obsession, because I was so obsessed with my failure that I wouldn't let it go, right? I was so obsessed with this mistake that I made that I would not let it go. And they always say, don't, obsess or get stuck on a mistake because it took you a long time to make it, and it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. And it's like, I hope if you're in that type of situation now where you're blowing through cash, just blowing through negativity, blowing through cash, blowing through negativity, or whatever it may be, just take a second and realize that, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it, because it just isn't, right? So that car's sitting back there until I'm a multi-millionaire. And when I become a multi-millionaire, then, only then will that car be fixed. If I don't have multi-millions, I'm not putting a dime towards that car, unless it's to get it towed out of my garage someplace else, because honestly, it's just a big sign of my failure. And that's why I was locked away in there. Like, I don't even look at it, because every time I see it, I remember that I failed. I remember the huge mistake I made, and the mistake I refuse to ever make again. So if you're not dwindling, but if you're stuck on a mistake, let it go. Just let it go. Let the mistake go. Get rid of it. Start anew, because there's so many better things you can do with your life than being stuck on that one failure that you made. All right? That work for you? Works for me. So, ciao.